Good evening. Welcome to Donkey Talk. We have Grant Veeder on our show again tonight. This will be our second show, so if you want to go on that's a YouTube channel, I think, that you can pull up the last show that we had. We're going to get a little more political in this show, and I didn't speak with him about his family, so welcome, Grant. I'm glad we're doing another show again.
Me too, thank you.
It's fun. Okay, we'll start with, you're married. How long
Yes.
you been married, and how did all that go?
Well, I'm married to Kim Veeder, formerly Kim Paget. She was working at the courthouse when I started working there.
Okay.
And so we met there, and I started working there in 1981. She started working there, I believe, in 1979, and we got married in 1985.
Oh, nice. How many children do you have?
We have 2 sons.
2 sons. Wonderful. Are any of them in politics?
Not really.
Okay.
One is a lot more politically inclined than the other, but they're both clearly Democrats, but they don't, they haven't run for any political offices that I know of.
Speaking of that, why didn't you?
What?
Why didn't you run for any political office?
What are you talking about? I hold a political office.
I mean, like legislature or Senate.
Well,
It would have been great.
well, I'm glad you think so. And there have been what you might call opportunities. There have been situations where people have asked me to consider running, but there's a couple of different types of offices that I could have run for. And the problem with running for the legislature is most people that are state legislators that aren't independently wealthy have other full-time jobs. So I couldn't continue to be county auditor and be a state legislator.
Right.
So that kind of
Too much.
ended that sort of idea. Then there are state level positions like Secretary of State or State Auditor that have some involvement with county auditors, especially Secretary of State. That's the Secretary of State is the State Director of Elections, like the county auditors are the county commissioners of elections.
Let me interject real quick. I didn't say this at the beginning of the show. You are our Black Hawk County Auditor.
Black Hawk County Auditor.
They know where we're going with this. Okay.
Auditor and Commissioner of Elections is the full title.
Wow.
So that does show the importance of elections. So anyway, there have been times when people have asked me or suggested to me that I run for one of those offices, and that would mean moving to Des Moines or doing a long commute. And you know, when we were discussing that sort of thing is when our boys were younger, and I really didn't want to put our lives in that much turmoil. And
You'd be away so much.
Yeah, and I appreciate you thinking that it was something that I could consider, but I actually, I think that there have been many other more qualified candidates than myself. So I'm not sure people missed very much by me not being there. I tried to do a good job as county auditor, and I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to do there.
From what I've heard, you've done an amazing job.
Well, thank you.
So I wanted to talk to you about the politics in the election. If there were any threats or what's going on there right now?
Well, you know, with the 2020 election and how all of the turmoil that occurred after that, and the allegations, and Trump saying that the election was stolen and all that, it has caused a lot of people to have doubts whether legitimate or not. And so there have been criticisms of how elections have been run all over the country. But I would say that in my personal experience, I've had some people make some critical remarks and so forth, but I have not been threatened by anybody. And I don't know of people in Iowa that have been threatened that are election officials. And we have a pretty close group of county auditors and other election staff around the state. And if that had happened, I probably would have heard about it. It could have, but at least it certainly wasn't on any noticeable scale. So that's a good thing. It seems like the people in Iowa are at least rational about elections here. But there's another side of it that is upsetting, which is the Republican-controlled state legislature is acting like the things that were alleged to have happened in other states that weren't really happening in other states.
Right.
But they're acting like those things are happening here, or that there's a strong danger of those things happening here. And so in the 2 legislative sessions that we've had since the 2020 presidential election, the Republican legislature has passed a lot of new election legislation that a lot of it just amounts to voter suppression in my mind. And also there's a lot of emphasis on keeping a lid on county auditors and really kind of implying that the county auditors are trying to pull a fast one in certain areas and so on. And so there are penalties that have been put into the law specifically for county auditors.
You're kidding.
No.
Like what?
Well, there are a number of election infractions, or I should say, there are a number of requirements in the law that if broken, they can be considered misdemeanors or felonies, and they raised the ante on some of them to make them go from misdemeanors to felonies. And there's also, when I mentioned infractions, it's because I was thinking about this specific law that says that if the Secretary of State finds a county auditor to be guilty of a technical infraction, the Secretary of State shall fine the county auditor to an amount up to $10,000.
Oh my.
And we could go into the history of how all that came about, but we probably don't have time on the show. But it's just, it's kind of a slap in the face.
Oh yeah.
And there...
Well, you said there were problems in other states. What were they referring to then, that they tried to integrate it into Iowa or connect it? What kind of...
A lot of the changes in Iowa law have had to do with absentee balloting, shortening the amount of time that's available to vote absentee, and limiting the people who can return absentee ballots for people that vote them. And a lot of this comes out of the allegations that in other states that there was wrongdoing and fraud and so forth with absentee ballots. And
You mean that Trump said?
right, because I do
jeez.
want to emphasize that those allegations have gone to court and been thrown out time after time after time. And so it's a situation where people are all upset because some politician said that something was happening that wasn't happening, but then when the people get upset, then the politicians point to it and say, oh, we got to do something because people are upset. Well, they weren't upset until you told them these lies, so it's very frustrating.
I heard about the voting. It's really changed. You were talking about that at the Central Committee meeting. Yeah, and also come to the Central Committee meeting, and Grant's there. You're usually there. We're all there. They're on the third Sunday of every month,
Except this month.
except this month because of Easter.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great place to come and meet the legislators to go to Des Moines and give us information.
Yep.
So, what else would you like to talk about? I mean, what is your passion besides Lincoln?
I'm really looking forward to the weather getting nicer so I can ride my bike.
Oh, you bike.
Yeah, I'm not like a ragbri rider, but I just really enjoy getting outside and riding around. We have such a wonderful system of paths in the area.
Yes, we do.
So I enjoy that. Also, when the weather's nice, my wife has one of the most beautiful gardens you will ever see, and she'll be making it more beautiful this summer, and I just love to sit out there. It's a great place of repose
Fragrance.
and fragrance.
Oh, that's what I love. Magnolia trees and it smells. So that's basically what you do for exercise is biking.
Yeah, I play some golf. I just haven't played much in the last couple of years, but hopefully I'll play more golf this summer.
Yeah, on the weekends anyway. I like it too, but I like to always play the tournaments. Where you like the best shot.
Oh, yeah.
They're wild. They're more fun to me. 'Cause I'm not a good golfer, but I
Well,
pretend
neither
I
am
am.
I'm not very good either. I just, you always have that dream that it's going to go right one of these times.
Yeah, well, you're pretty laid back, so you wouldn't be the type to throw your golf club, I don't think.
I haven't done that very often.
Oh, that's great. So, your hobby is biking, you're interested in golfing, and writing. So you're writing. Are you writing a book?
I'm kind of writing a book. I told you about those articles that I wrote about Lincoln and his connections to Iowa. And I'm pretty sure there's a book there, and I've gone back and forth on it for a long time. But in the last year or so, I've been putting stuff on Facebook that I've written about Lincoln. And
Oh, neat.
I never really saw Facebook as a place to publish historical essays, but I found that people enjoyed it and they encouraged me to do it. And so I wrote some new stuff, and then I decided, well, I need to go back and, when I wrote those articles before about connections to Iowa, I had space constraints in the magazine that I was writing them in. Well, now I can write them just as long as I want. And so I'm embellishing them, and, well, not embellishing in terms of making anything up. I'm improving them with more information.
Oh, that's great.
And so I'm thinking I should be able to, I just need to talk to the right people about how you get a book published. But I read a book a little while ago about Lincoln in the state of Kansas, and I read that book and thought, well, I can do that about Iowa. Why not?
Yeah, the connection. What's that? You should do a podcast where you just do brief little podcasts every day. My gosh, they are amazing. People make money off of those, don't they?
Really? Well,
yeah, you can make a lot of money off podcasts.
Yeah. Okay.
And then what's it, like 5 minutes?
No, you got to do like a half an hour or something.
No.
Yeah.
You don't have to be that long.
Okay. Well, you show me how to do it, how to make money out of it, and I'll just follow your lead.
I'd like to do it, and I don't have time to do it either. But that came to mind because once you get your book done, and you should put your autobiography in there too. That podcast, people, is it on TikTok they go on? What do they go on?
Oh,
TikTok?
You can find them just about anywhere.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my kids are I don't have time yet. I'm still too busy for all that.
Well, I listen to some history podcasts.
Do you?
Sure, and they make me think that I could do that too. So I'm definitely interested.
Yes. Well, we have a few minutes left, so
Okay.
what
have you been doing lately?
What have I been doing? Oh my goodness, working a lot.
Good.
And then I have the affirmative action
Yes.
that I'm doing, and we have a Facebook page, Black Hawk County Affirmative Action page. It's the one that's kind of got, it has the cartoon banner. I got a lot of trouble with that. They go, you can't put that banner up there. And I go, why not? Well, that's not professional enough. And I said, why do we have to always be professional? Why can't we be fun? You know?
Yeah.
And it's all different people and different colored people. I mean, like pink and purple. And then in the end, the woman in the front's holding a heart. I thought, that's perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, yeah. So I have fun doing that. Getting a little political there, but. So, yeah. So you have a Facebook page. What's your Facebook page so we can tell the people?
Well, I have a personal page. That's where I put, when I write about Lincoln and so on, that's where I put that. The office also has a Facebook page and a Twitter account. And I'm not a digital native, as my sons put it. So I typically will get information out about elections, deadlines coming up. Right now, if you want to see who's going to be on the ballot, we
What is
have
that?
that
Is
information out there.
it Black Hawk County?
It's BHC Auditor.
BHC Auditor.
Mm-hmm. That's basically all you need to find it
for
Facebook, and Twitter.
And
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm glad I asked you that.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely get out there and follow Black Hawk County Auditor on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll try to get more content out there. I'm not really good about it, but we try to get the important stuff out there anyway.
Well, I'm going to get on it, and you get on Black Hawk County Affirmative Action.
Yes, ma'am.
You can post on that, too. I'll let you post.
Okay, all right,
Because
thank
I'd
you.
love to have you post on that. So that would be great. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. I wanted to thank you for coming on and sharing all your genius, knowledge that you have.
you.
I mean, you know, it wasn't it Einstein that always said everybody's genius in their own way? I really like that
I
thought.
bet he did.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, everybody in a different way, in a different area of life. So,
Yeah, I believe that.
so I always quote that to my children. And then my grandchildren, when they come up, when they start to talk, I go, say, I'm genius. I go, I genius. I go, say it again. So I'm implanting, programming them at a young age. You're really smart. You can do things.
Yeah, well, I think my sons are geniuses too. I don't have to tell them, they usually tell me. So
They tell you?
yeah, they're really smart.
Are they?
Yeah,
I have one of
and
those.
great musicians too.
Oh, so they're musicians. Do
Well-
they play in a band or anything?
Sean is a professional guitar player. He's got a music degree from UNI, and so he plays in the Des Moines area quite a bit. And Ryan is not a professional musician, but good musician, songwriter, and he's also an excellent writer. He writes games and so on.
Wow.
Guess we're running out of time. I can't tell too much about that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show and enjoy the show.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night. God bless.
We are in this together. Unity must be our plan.
Unity must be our stand.
Emerge hand in hand for majestic new lands.
For justice with truth. Luminous flag in our hands. Oh yes, we are in this together.
Molding the earth with our hands.
We are in this together. You know our future